Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. I thought that Global Dokkan made kind of a fun little tweet here, so I figured we'd just sort of like cover this. I do appreciate, well, man, I guess I should choose my words carefully. Let's say this. Okay. Global, a lot of times, they're run like, idiots. Not to be rude, but, I just say, Global Dokkan, and you guys know what I'm talking about. And in particular, Global Dokkan's Twitter, and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But at the same time, they could do, like, fun little stuff like this, which I think it is neat. I actually, this is such a meme, but, because it's like, you look down, and of course, how, Ice Nova, right, Ice Nova, like, we're having fun. So, who will be the most used character from the 8th anniversary Dual Dokkan Festival? Post your guess using the Dokkan character ranking. I guess I didn't listen. I'm a Dragon Ball fan, I should have posted that as well. If we reach 3K posts worldwide, all users will get 10 stones. W. We do like free stones. A lot of times, I think Global a lot of times gets like a slightly bit more amount of like currency and stuff like that during these anniversaries and major celebrations than JP does. Just like it's like a little bit extra, but when you count like the tickets on the banners, and then also like the extra tickets on the kind of like that summon banner, right? Like Global does, kind of make out like bandits. So the extra stones, these might be to compensate for some gift that JP got that Global might not have too. So keep that in mind. All right, so post the character you think will be used the most. Let's take a look at what we got here. Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta anniversary unit. They have them at 1. I bet you they probably will be the answer. The Goku GT and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, they are better. They're a better character. But this is like a more hype version, I would say. It's obviously Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is above Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta for sure. But, people love Vegeta. They're both Super Saiyan forms, right? But the gap between Kid GT Goku and Super Saiyan 3 Goku, that's just, that's not even a discussion. Like Goku is like a 10, and this Kid Goku is like a 1. That's like Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is, I don't know, an 8, and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta is like a 6 or a 7 or something. Just sort of making shit up, right? Like it's probably something like that. So I would guess that there'll be number 1. This unit probably would be 2. I do think that like this Goku right here, he could be a little bit high. Same with this guy. A lot of players will probably be very eager to test this unit out. Now, what's interesting about this, right, is that LR Bobbity, Blue Kaioken Goku, Hercule, and Super Saiyan Goku here are not on Global yet. These characters aren't even out yet. And on top of that, they haven't even been announced. Blue Kaioken Goku and Super Saiyan Goku have not officially been announced on Global, yet they're tweeting it out. Like, there's been nothing in the news, there's no data download, it's this Twitter post, right, is showing us that these characters are coming in. So I could just do a quick evaluation for all these characters. Again, I would probably predict that the character that would be used the most is the character they have at number 1 right there. I don't... The Gammas, if you're a player that didn't have the Gammas, like, they could be exciting. So let's just do a quick evaluation of every character. This unit is very good. They just have a weakness within the first 2 turns. They can get taken out very quickly. I know a lot of people will point, skill issue and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. It's like, the thing with this unit, and if you're running, like, these 8th anniversary teams, you will blow through the bosses so fast. Oftentimes, like, this character can at least triple super every turn with relative ease. But, when they're killing the boss on the second attack of 4, and, they need to super to stack, like, there can be issues. This is the thing I always am talking about, where every good character essentially needs to build up in some fashion. This character needs a super attack to stack their defense. This unit needs a super attack in order to stack up their damage reduction, right? It's a very common thing that you're always now micromanaging all of these characters and all the different sort of ways that they have to sort of build up. You do have the standby right here, which I absolutely adore this. I love this standby so much. I love Majin on the LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku Tanabata LR, which is essentially the same concept. This part of it is the reason that I love this character so much. this is like very different and fun to me, right? Like just an uber invincible defensive unit who's, you know, creating rainbow orbs and then just has, you know, like this gigaton nuke hammer you could drop. I think it's just really cool. We have the GT unit. I think that this unit is in contention for best unit in the game. Unfortunately, as much as I do like this character right here, I do not think they are. I do think that their weakness in this version holds them back a little bit too much for me. Whereas, like, this character, just, you know, turn 1 against AGL Sin, who is doing as much damage as, you know, Red Zone Final Phase Broly, and this character can live, right? Like, they're so good. And then, of course, they do have one of these revive insane standbys right here. Huge, you know, damage, huge support. Just an incredible character. This unit is really awesome. And it's like one of the things that can make characters, I think, really special these days is it's not just, oh my god, we're guarding with 5,000% defense. We're so good. It's we are protecting the rest of the rotation. Bulma, Orange Piccolo, LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and this character all can protect the other units around them with various abilities that they have, which is really strong. So I'm talking like, I mean, Bulma and LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, it's to a little bit of a lesser extent. Orange Piccolo, in terms of like that sort of like power ranking, is probably number 1. Because remember, when you do the Orange Piccolo giant transformation, it does sort of neutralize the boss's ability to do super attacks and stuff like that. Which means, you know, lesser characters like, you know, LR Ultimate Gohan, Beast Gohan, can end up performing quite well. Then we get to this character. I mean, this is one of the worst units they've ever released. I just, like, I think this probably is, in terms of, like, the weakest summonable character we've seen ever, or at least since, like, 2017 or something like that. I've seen people talk about, like, oh, well, they could stun and stuff like that. And it's like, I mean, they can, but I guess Join Forces does have a normal Super Battle Road stage now, but like that's the thing, it's not 3 years ago where Super Battle Road was like legitimate, like, you know, tough content and stuff like that. I mean, these Red Zone characters dominate these stages. This unit has no worth whatsoever. There's a couple of GT bosses missions. Is it the GT Legendary Goku event? Does the Legendary Vegeta event have one? I can't remember, but the GT Legendary Goku event does have one. I mean, they could help in there a little bit, I guess, but they just aren't doing anything. Their stats are bad. Double orb changing is cool, but the problem is that this is a character that's never going to be out of slot 3, and they're creating type orbs. One of the big strengths about Rainbow Orb changing is typically Rainbow Orb changing, which is far superior to type orb changing. Even double type orb changing sucks cock compared to Rainbow Orb changing. It's just a fact. Because Rainbow Orb changing, it oftentimes can create paths and orbs for the entire rotation, right? If you get like this type orb changing, even if you have a bunch of orbs right in slot 1 for a character, you grab that, but then you could get bad RNG with the rest of the orbs and you're in trouble. With Rainbow Orb changing, that is like, it's so uncommon. You can, of course, get screwed there as well, but typically Rainbow Orb changing can cover the entire team. I mean, you know, I run Bulma and Kid Goku like as a duo a lot of times. The entire team is eating well. Like it matters. It makes quite a difference. Them like type orb change, like there's not like one change to this character where all of a sudden they're super good. I mean, I guess that's not true. Like if you have them exactly the same, but then they also get 70% damage reduction when they super attack or something like that, that would be good, because, you know, you could float them or put them in slot 2 and they couldn't take damage. But they would need something like that to make them good. As they are completely worthless. They have nowhere to use, nothing to do. It's like literally the legendary GT Goku event GT Bosses mission. Join Forces Super Battle Road, but the freest free-to-play player is probably not using this character in that stage. Like, they're just worthless. Gotenks and Piccolo, I think that they're a little bit better. You know, they do have defensive stacking. They do have some abilities, some healing, some dodging. Like, they've got a little bit to them. They just, to me, feel very underpowered compared to a lot of the stronger banner units. I think maybe if you buffed their dodge to 50% and then maybe gave them, like, a super class ally support buff, I think that would help this Gotenks and Piccolo out tremendously. They just need a little bit more. Again, the point of the banner units should really be a lot of times to, really power up the main Dokkan Fest character. Now, in this instance, we have two, dominant Saiyan, like, headliner Dokkan Fest LRs, so it's not important that the banner units buff them. But a lot of other times, it will be important, right? This character should have just been, I think, a support type unit, because they're on all these categories that, like, they can help out on. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of this character, I mean, Heavenly Events is pretty shitty. So, like, you could use this character. I mean, I use this character in a burst mode. Yeah, I think it's either the Gogeta or Vegito. One of them, I think, have burst mode coming up during the anniversary. I believe one of them does have a Heavenly Events mission. And they're on stuff like Entrusted Will, Connected Hope, Final Trump Card. Like, they're on teams that they could help out in, even if they're not really that crazy. Okay, LR Bobbity. This is a character, I've noticed I am way more down on this character than most people are. Seems like a lot of people are on board with this character's effectiveness. To me, though, I think that the Majin Vegeta standby is terrible because he can't attack. Not being able to attack, but then not being a dominant defensive unit, and he doesn't support. This is like the worst. This just sucks. He can't attack, and defensively, he's not uber spectacular. I think if he's got type advantage and you're above 15 key, right? Like, this guy can be solid. But here's the thing. This character struggles for key, right? Like, you're not using this unit on teams where you're going to have Majin Resurrection Plan or even, like, Over in a Flash active. Like, you're not going to have these links activated. This is just, or Royal Lineage. Look at the teams you're on. You think you're going to have Royal Lineage? Like, this is just the worst designed. I hate this. I think that this is just so terrible. This entire thing. And I mean, people love Majin Vegeta. They love this. I mean, I know Nano was upset. All types of people were upset about this. Even Goresh told me Japanese players were very upset about this, that they just use this Vegeta as kind of like a standby on a free-to-play LR. People were very mad about this. I don't care so much about that, but I just think that this character's performance sucks ass. And it's like this, again, if you're going to go into a form where you can't attack in 2023, then I need to not be like, well, he can be okay defensively, but he can't attack. I don't know. It's like, if we're going to talk about like LRUI Goku or Tech Ultimate Gohan, like, I could definitely overlook it because, they're characters from years ago. This is like a brand new unit. I mean, the 8th anniversary free-to-play characters, I think, are pretty ass. So are the 7th anniversary free-to-play characters. Now, the Bobbity portion of the card, I actually do like quite a bit more, because you've got the high chance to seal right there and a high chance to stun, and this is a dodging support type unit. I like that as a free-to-play character. I just think that the Majin Vegeta transformation is worthless. I mean, this character could be useful on, corroded body and mind as a villain support. I think the one thing I don't like for the Bobbity portion is just like all of this. It's just like split up. I don't think that this should be like this. I don't know how they would split it up, but maybe just give it all to him base, because he has abilities against superclass enemy, abilities against an extreme class enemy. I think just giving all this to the character just baseline. Like, there's no restrictions on it. This is just the whole thing. And I again, I do like the Bobbity portion. Gamma 1 is still a god. I mean, he's just so strong, so powerful with his guard at the start. He builds up the damage reduction. He supports. He has a nullification. Remember, for a while there, Gamma 2 had a nullification and Gamma 1 did not, but now Gamma 1, remember, the counters are now nullifications. So he's got a nullification, he supports, he guards, damage reduction, can pop out 10 million attack stats, and oh, by the way, he works incredibly well. The Gammas together are still a very potent combo. I love them. And it's like Gamma 2, a lot of times, like, the Gamma 2 archetype is a character I'm not the biggest fan of. I think maybe Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku's a great example. This guy's kind of like the successor of the Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku, like, character design. But, like, whereas Goku just, like, is raw defense, and then he just attacks, and he can crit, and he attacks, and he can crit. Gamma 2 is supporting, and he has a nullification on top of one of these just, like, offensive characters. Gamma 2 has built-in crits. He has built-in additionals. This guy's just great. He's great. I think he's really good. For a character, this is probably about as high as I can like a character that doesn't really have, like, overwhelming, exceptional defensive ability. Gamma 2 can get up to the danger zone, I like to call it, which is right around 1,000,000 defense, where a lot of people will go, oh my god, I think that defense is so good, and then they just get one shot, right? It's like, yeah, I mean, the defense is so, yeah, guys, 500k defense is totally good, if you like dying in one hit. Yeah, totally great, man. But besides the fact that Gamma 2 does get there and can get one-shotted by the biggest bosses, I do still think he's great. I do still think it's very easy to dominate with him. Gammas are holding up well so far, for sure. Then we move on to Blue Kaioken Goku. Oh boy. I don't know, man. I just, Blue Kaioken, they made him too good, I would say. They made him so good. If we get legitimate Reps of Universe 7 options, it's like, this guy is like a top 10 overall unit in the game or something like that. Because it's like, right now it's only, like, quick. He has guard for the first 5 turns from his first appearance, with the Universal Rival Saga ally in the same turn, right? But the way this works is, starting from Goku's first appearance, I believe this does trigger, even if you haven't had the Universal Rival Saga ally around. It's something like that. Like, you do have to maintain the Universal Rival Saga ally next to Goku to keep his guard up, right? Like, it does have to still be there. But the way this guy's designed, he'll take damage, but live with guard, and then you kill with a Spirit Bomb. It's like, this guy will drop the 50 million Spirit Bomb nuke, and then he can do, like, triple 20 million attacks. That, like, it just gets really silly. I don't like offensive characters. I feel like, whereas I talk about Gamma 2 as kind of like the successor, like Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I felt like Tech Pan was this guy's, like, the base form version of this guy. Tech Pan is like the successor to this character. But then they Ise this guy, and he's, shits on Tech Pan, right? So I don't know. I think if Tech Pan had the 50% damage reduction, like, always in slot 1, like, the fact that her damage reduction wears off when she attacks in slot 1 is just the worst design choice. It's so bad. If she kept it the whole time in slot 1, I think Tech Pan would shoot up. That would help her quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, Tech Pan, she still can get just destroyed in slot 1, but you guys get what I'm saying. But yeah, this guy is ridiculous. I didn't want to spend too much time talking about him, because I feel like, no matter what people say, like, this guy, his dominance, I feel like, is kind of not going to translate as well just through, like, a video or something like that. Like, once this guy comes out and global players are using him, you guys will see what I'm talking about with this guy. Next we have Hercule. By the way, we're going in order of this right here. Next is Hercule. I don't like this character. Like, you could definitely do shenanigans. I mean, he gets defense here. He's getting defense here. But I don't know. It's just a lot of weirdness with this guy, right? Like, high chance of additional super if the target enemy is an attack down or defensive down. He performs a guaranteed crit when the target enemy is sealed. Like, a lot of this just feels very worthless. I guess what you want to do is just use this guy for Super Battle Road type stages. I mean, Earthling Extreme Super Battle Road is tricky. The enemies can hit pretty hard in there. I mean, this guy could certainly help out new players and free-to-play players and stuff like that in, like, one of those Super Battle Road stages. I do think that his high chance to revive is, like, just absolute dog shit. Now, the good news about it is he does have a high chance to revive, but you will see it on him, right? You know how you get the little revive icon? If his passive is active and you can revive, you'll see the revive icon on him. If it's not there and he dies, then obviously you're not reviving. But 50% chance to get that, it is kind of shit, but it is much better because you see if you have it. It's not one of those things where like, all right, Hercule just died. Do we do it? Oh, nope, we didn't get it. Oh, yep, we got it. Like, it's, at the start of turn because there's a little icon there, which again, if chance to guard characters would be improved massively just simply if we knew if they were guarding or not, right? Which is something that they could do. The same way we have this little revive symbol, they could create a guarding symbol, which I think would help tremendously. Then we get to this guy. This guy is certainly not as good as, say, I don't know, LR God Goku. I think is definitely better. I think that this guy, he could be okay. He gets some damage reduction. He's got some orb changing capabilities. One thing I do like about this Super Saiyan Goku is that he does not need to build up. Whereas many characters in the game, we talked about it earlier, they need the super attack, or they got to stack defense, or they got to get hit, or they got to do this, or they got to do that. This guy is kind of just what he is. A lot of these kind of like newer age nuking characters are like this. But like, I just, when a character needs a ton of orbs, but they're also rainbow orb changing to create the orbs themselves, I've found it very common that not only can I get this character his orbs, but I could also get a lot of the rest of the rotation as orbs as well. It's a pretty common thing. So, I do like this character. He's like a red zone cell max stage killer, but I mean, against the biggest bosses, he certainly can struggle. He is, again, a great Super Battle Road character with the attack debuffing, the ceiling, and stuff like that. I like this guy. He's okay. I think that they definitely could have made him slightly better. One thing it's just like these two guys come out at the same time, and Blue Kaioken Goku is, I mean, I don't know, 27 times better, 57 times better, something like that. But Super Saiyan Goku, I mean, he's not trash. I would defend this guy more than I would slander him or something like that, right? So there's just a quick evaluation of all of the characters that Global Dokkan tweeted out. Again, I mean, this is kind of like a fun little thing. I do like this, right? Like, Global, they sit there and they're our punching bag a lot, but I do find this fun. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys next time.